Hey everybody, welcome to episode 302
Wow.
of Good Luck High Five. We're some cool cats bringing you some cool news and cool facts about Magic the Gathering.
We sure are. I'm a tabby.
Oh yeah, I'm a calico.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
I'm long hair, definitely.
Oh, I'm short hair. Oh boy, no. Have you looked at the amount of maintenance I'm willing to put in? This is a short-haired cat right here.
You've got to brush me all the time or you will regret it.
Oh, no.
Just FYI.
Do you know what? Okay, this is kind of terrible, but my cat goes outside, right?
Yes.
I let her outside for different parts of the day, and I have not ever given her a flea and tick like medication.
Yeah.
But she never gets fleas. And I don't know if it's because she hates
flea
other
repellent.
animals so much that she will not get close enough to them to contract fleas. I don't know if that's a thing. Or part of me has wondered, like, her fur is really dense. If she just like
can't get in
if
there.
they can't get in there. It's true. These are like, I don't know.
Well, she's just wandering outside of your house, you know. There maybe there's no fleas to be had.
That's what I think it is. But the other part of me is like, I don't know how the biology of flea and tick works.
Have you ever had fleas?
Oh, yes.
Fun question.
Oh man. Okay, sorry. We're really starting off very off topic today.
Tangent right off the bat. That's our
Yes.
deal. Magic talk will begin briefly.
But this is actually like a weird story. But one of the places that we were living when I was growing up, we moved around a whole bunch.
Yeah.
And we had dogs. And one time our dog had fleas. And the place that we were living, it was in Texas. Mm-hmm. And it had old wood floors. But the thing is that sometimes old wood floors, especially, the boards shrink and you get gaps between them.
Yes.
So we got rid of the fleas that the dogs had, but fleas were living in the gaps between the floorboards. Yes.
That's
and I had bites
horrifying.
around my ankles for months. Isn't that weird?
That's so weird. I didn't know fleas could live in just the floor.
Me neither, but it's like in this particular instance, it was because there were like these big gaps between the floorboards.
Wow. I have gaps in my
Anyways.
floorboards at home, and now I'm like, there's fleas living in there.
Not unless you ended up like you created a situation in which that was going to happen. In our case, by having dogs who had fleas.
You know what? I've always dreamed of running my own circus. Why not the flea variety?
Yeah. Is flea circus a real thing? Or is it like a turn of phrase?
I think, I don't know. I mean, what it was back in the old timey times when people had a flea circus. They're like, come and see the flea circus, but it was all like an act.
Yeah,
like it was wires and whatever, right?
Oh, was it?
It wasn't actual fleas doing the trapeze.
Or I thought if it was like if it's like basically another way of saying like a scam, right? Like the flea circus.
Well, I think it originated because it was a real thing and it became the word for a scam.
Oh well. Anyways,
I could keep on this topic for like forever, and I'm stopping myself right now.
Yeah.
Just want you to know the sacrifice I'm making for the show.
Yes. Thank you so much. I did not make any sacrifices. I told a lot of personal flea-related stories at the top of this show.
Maybe we'll come back around to it later.
But we are going to talk about Magic the Gathering because that's what we're here to tell you about. Whether you are becoming better at the game, you're just learning it, you were away from the game for a while and you're returning, you like being part of the community, or you just like hanging around and playing with your friends when you can.
I'm one of your hosts, Maria.
I'm another one of your hosts, Megan.
And on today's show, we've got a lot of news for you, actually. A lot of cool stuff has been going on in the Magic universe this past week, and we're going to let you know all about it.
Yeah.
We're also going to take a deep dive into Modern after Grand Prix Atlanta this past weekend.
Man, we haven't talked about Modern in a long time.
Forever.
Which is strange because we both love it.
Yeah.
We
so does
love
everybody.
Modern.
And coming up next year, there's a lot of Modern Grand Prix.
Ooh, nice.
So, if you're not on the Modern train, think about it, and you'll have plenty of tournaments to choose from next year, too.
There's a lot less murder on modern trains than on old school trains.
That's true. Modern trains.
Think about it. You could not have Murder on the Orient Express on like a contemporary Amtrak. It would not be the same.
Just because there would just not be.
It's just like not fancy enough.
You need a fancy train for a murder.
Amtrak, if you want to rebrand, talk to me. I've got some ideas.
Oh, that's one of my life goals is to go on a fancy train trip. But you know what? I think I'm going to be disillusioned because once I did go on a train and it was not fancy at all. And I had a sleeper car and it was terrible.
At this point, it's just like a slower airplane.
Great. But I do love trains in general.
Yeah.
I would prefer a train journey.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I do.
Anyway, before I get too off track again, the Pro Tour is coming up this coming weekend rather, and we're going to do our classic Pro Tour preview for you.
Yes. It's going to be so exciting. We're going to give you all of the hot dish, all of the scoops.
Hot dish! Get it? Because if you're in Minnesota, that's the thing you eat. It's a hot dish.
Yeah, it's just a casserole by another name. We're also going to invite you, if you want, to come participate in some of our fantasy leagues for this Pro
play
Tour.
With us.
Very cool.
Yeah, we've got leagues based on cards that we expect to be played and players too, like we normally do for Sock Bet. And this time you can play along. So that's going to be pretty cool stuff.
Yeah. All right. Well, all this and more coming at you.
Before we start the show, thank you to everybody who supports us on patreon.com/GLHF Magic.
That's right. If you are a supporter of the show, you are literally, you lift the show up on your shoulders. You are like
the wind beneath our wings.
You're like Atlas. Holding the world, and the world is the show.
Uh-oh.
But also, well,
wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty, that's pretty nice.
In this case, Atlas is made of a lot of smaller people. This metaphor's
that's
weird,
creepy.
Right?
But honestly, you help us so much, and we do have a goal on our Patreon page. We're trying to get to 700 patrons. So if you can go on there and you can see how many we've got, and you can help bump us up to 700. Hopefully, we'll get there by the end of the month. Please help us. It'll be so fun.
Yes, it'll be so fun.
It will.
Yeah.
We've got great stretch goals too on there as well if we can manage to hit those. So yeah, every pledge not only supports the show but gets us closer to getting some cool new stuff into your hands, hopefully, if we hit those benchmarks.
And we've had a couple of people join us in November so far. And we so appreciate, like, literally every time I open up our email and I see that a new patron has joined.
Yeah.
It's like a little, like, it's like the first flakes of snow falling on your face on a perfect, crisp winter day.
Exactly.
And you're like, oh my goodness, what is this magic? And unlike snow, I will never become tired of you.
You see? It's great.
So it's only the magical moments.
We're going to thank Card Kingdom, too, for being an awesome supporter of the show. CardKingdom.com/GLHF. Use that link to go to their website and get some awesome stuff, like one of the things we're going to talk about soon, which is Ultimate Masters. Ooh, soon you'll be able to head over there and check that out. But yeah.
Last week, we also did a video with their sparring decks. A new pair of them, which are their pre-made brawl decks that you can get.
They're cool.
We had Etrata versus Slimefoot.
Yeah.
They're so much fun. We love them so much. And they're only $15. So if you're like, I don't know how to get into Brawl, or I'm looking for like a fun casual way to play with some of my friends, but we don't have time to like go through and spend all the time constructing decks. We just want to jump right into the playing.
Boom.
Grab those sparring decks. Like it's a great fun play experience that we've had with all of the different ones that they offer.
Yeah, holidays coming up. I think that's a great gift.
Yeah,
honestly. And you can ask for a free sticker in your order too, and you get a Good Luck High Five sticker.
Nice.
And then you can be the coolest kid with the coolest lunchbox that has our sticker on it.
Yeah. So remember, you can check out those videos like we mentioned on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. We also have board game reviews that come out every Monday.
Yeah.
Like Maria said, it's the holiday season. So whatever you're celebrating, if you're practicing gift giving as part of that, there are some awesome games that are coming out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Our board game guy, Nicholas, is always on top of the hottest games.
Yeah.
Sometimes Maria and I are like, Nicholas, what about reviewing this game? And he's like, we're booked out until January. And we're like, all right, Nicholas. You're so on top of it.
If you want Rex, we got Rex.
We got Rex for days.
Yeah. We love all games here on this show.
Sure do.
And if you are not into board games, that's okay. You can check out our awesome Magic content. And if you are, great. You get 2 for 1.
Yeah.
And what Magic player doesn't like a 2 for 1? All right, it's time for Magic News.
That's right. A couple of weeks ago, we talked to you about the finals of the Magic Bracket.
Yes. The Magic Bracket was set up by a judge to determine what is the most, quote, magic, unquote, card in Magic. And over the course of 2+ years,
oh my
people
goodness,
voted on what should be the what is the most iconic card in the game of Magic, and we have finally reached the conclusion.
That's right. You can look at the history of this bracket. If you just Google Magic Bracket, it's the first thing that comes up, or you can go to mtgbracket.tumblr.com and read more about it. But Maria, there was a winner.
Right. And the winner is Lightning Bolt! Yeah, we saw that one coming.
I tried to do a lightning sound, and then I realized I had no idea.
You're doing when you're like, zzz.
Yeah, that was like the lightning sound. So
How could I do a lightning sound?
ooh, that's a good lightning sound.
Ooh, I should get a career in being the sounds of inanimate objects. Wait, is
That's
lightning
a Foley artist.
Is lightning an animate object? Is lightning an object? Oh my god!
You've really gotten into it now. I don't think it is.
No.
It's not an object.
It's electricity.
Yes.
So it's not an object.
Is it an object? No, it's electricity. Well, I'm sure that you wanted to.
Well, glad we got that sorted out.
We got to the bottom of what are lightning bolts.
Grombus. Okay, so lightning bolt was a champion of all, which I think
unsurprising.
I think is a great choice.
Yeah.
A lot of people shocked, that it's not going to be something like Black Lotus or whatever, but Black Lotus got voted out a few rounds ago, so it wasn't even kind of in contention. And I've got to say, it beat out Counterspell throughout this. Yeah, I think Lightning Bolt's like great.
Yeah,
a great choice.
It beat Wrath of God in the semifinals.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Wow. It took 69.41% of the votes.
Okay.
In the finals. So like pretty decisive.
Do you
decisive victory.
Think that Lightning Bolt is the most Magic card in Magic?
We had this discussion, didn't we, when we were talking about this?
Yeah, but now that we have our winner, I want to know if you think it's a worthy champion.
I would have preferred it to be Ancestral. Let's be honest.
Whoa.
I think drawing cards is more Magic.
Paulo Vitor Damarosa agrees with you.
Really?
Yes.
Yes. What about you?
I think Lightning Bolt is a great choice.
Yeah.
It is really tough for me, though, because choosing a piece of power does also seem to be very Magic. It's the history. Yeah. It's where a lot of, the essence of the game comes from and the excitement over it.
Although, Lightning Bolt is one of the original cards.
That's true.
It's one of the set, right? It's part of the same set as Ancestral.
Yeah.
Where it was a single mana of each color would make some sort of effect that had 3 in it. So like Lightning Bolt was deal 3 damage. Ancestral was draw 3 cards. It was Dark Ritual, right?
Yeah.
Make 3 black mana.
Yeah.
Giant Growth. And then whatever the last one, White.
Give your creatures +1/+1?
No, I think it was gain 3 life, maybe.
Ew.
Do you know what? Now I don't remember, but I want to say that that's like whatever.
Oh, that's so sad.
I know. Well,
they didn't really. It took them a while to understand the color pie. Let's get real. But that's okay because they made a great game. I have a thought experiment for you while we're in news here.
Sure.
Someone posed this question to me the other day. Do you think if Richard Garfield had not invented magic, that eventually somebody would have invented it?
Wow, great question.
And I'm talking not specifically about Magic, but about the concept of a trading card game or a game similar to Magic, because Magic is the birth of all games that are like it. So Pokemon, Eternal now online, Artifact, etc.
Healing Salve, single white, gain 3 life, or
right.
prevent up to 3 damage from being dealt to a single target. Anyways.
Yeah.
It's do
you think it was inevitable?
Such an interesting question.
Yeah.
Because part of me looks at games that have come after it and said, like, so many people who have had a hand in creating those games also played Magic at some point.
Absolutely.
In some cases worked on Magic at some point. And so there's the question of like, would they exist if this catalyst hadn't been there?
Right.
So that's like the part that gets me, because part of me looks at it, it's like, of course, it's like so fundamental, but is it fundamental because it was created?
Right.
And it was so good?
I was thinking about this and I
Great
said,
question.
I said no, because I think it is such a unique idea.
Yeah.
That I don't know when somebody would have finally come up with this.
Yeah, right? Like the color pie.
So weird.
Is such a good, like, people have talked about how great a foundation the color pie is.
Oh, absolutely. Everybody steals from it. Everybody.
Exactly. But someone had to think of it first, and it's not a logical step.
No, and neither is using different colored lands to pay for what you're doing in a game. And then those not being a definite resource.
I think I'm with you on the no.
I mean, this is Richard Garfield. Like, can you imagine having that kind of impact on the world?
No.
That's kind of nuts.
It's pretty wild.
Anyway, like,
it's pretty cool.
I'm interested in what you all think about this question. Would magic exist or something very similar to it if Richard Garfield had never invented magic? Use the hashtag.
Wait, I want it to be a hashtag that's like kind of like related to It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh, okay.
Right?
Yes.
With the hashtag
It's a magical life.
I was gonna say It's a Wonderful Garfield.
Okay, that's better. That's
weirder.
better. Use the hashtag It's a Wonderful Garfield if you think magic would have ever eventually been created.
Yes, tweet at us with your opinion. It's a Magical Life is like a way better hashtag. I want to acknowledge that, but
It's a Wonderful Garfield is just better, so we're just going to go with that. So
all right.
That was a long tangent, but I thought it was a very interesting question.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, the next point of news is something we alluded to earlier, which is Ultimate Masters.
Wow. So maybe if you've been on Twitter, in which case, Godspeed.
Yeah.
It's
a dangerous place.
It really is. But if you've been on there, one of the beautiful things about it is that maybe you've seen people showing off their full art cards.
They're glorious.
Their iconic full art cards, like Eternal Witness. They're beautiful.
All right. So what Ultimate Masters is, if you're not tuned into the hype, is it is going to be the final master set for a while. Probably not ever.
Just sidebar.
Yes.
Tune into the hype is like one of the best taglines I've heard in my life.
It's also probably an 80s like
in my mind
community
it's
access
like,
show.
In my mind, I was thinking it's like the tagline for like a wrestling show.
Ooh, tune into the hype.
Tune into the hype.
But the hype is like one of the wrestlers.
Yes.
Ooh.
Oh,
okay.
It's a wrestler named the hype.
Yeah. And they're super hype.
Oh boy.
They've got a hype crew.
Yes.
Anyway, yes. Tune into hype.
Sorry, I just have to write this down.
What did I go for it?
I'm gonna write this show.
Ultimate Masters, it's gonna be the latest Masters set they print for a while. So we've had stuff like Eternal Masters or whatever in the past. It's going to come out on December 7th of this year, 254 cards. And the cool thing about it is that when you buy a box of this, you can buy 24 packs per box. Same kind of configuration as normal booster packs, all that kind of stuff. It's going to be quite expensive because these are going to be very iconic cards for the game.
Yes.
And it's the last master set for the foreseeable future, as I said. So it's going to be probably pretty valuable. In the top of every box is something they've got called a box topper pack.
Yes.
And it's going to contain one full art and one normal art, or I should say borderless, version of one of the cards in the set. You get 40 options, and they can range from anything like Gaddock Teague, which is an excellent sideboard card in Modern, Liliana of the Veil, Snapcaster Mage, and they just look awesome.
Oh, they look so good.
And the way the set was revealed was pretty cool because if you were trying to buy some premium items on the Hasbro store earlier this year, there are some problems with that, to put it lightly. Wizards sent these out to people who had issues, and they just got one randomly in the mail, a foil version, and they look gorgeous.
Yeah, they really do. There's Karn Liberated. There's Emrakul with the new also legendary border at the top.
Oh, I love it.
These look amazing.
And a lot of them have brand new art too.
Yes.
Like Bitter Blossom. I mean, I'm a big fan of this card in general, and this new art is just gorgeous.
Yeah, it's really cool. So these are awesome.
I'm here for this.
Yeah, and you can see all of these. Again, if you Google MtG Ultimate Masters and you find the announcement page, they show all 40 of them.
Yeah.
With their arts, and it's really cool.
Yeah, I'm super stoked. I think I'm gonna go in on a box and just kind of save it and like see if it rises in value or something like that. But gosh, it's gonna be hard for me not to try and open it because
right. Oh, you want? Yeah.
I just really want to. So is this something we can draft? Is that something that could happen?
I don't know. I don't know if this set is a drafting set.
Probably not.
I mean, I think like every set is a drafting set.
Okay.
Right? Like you can draft.
I mean, you can draft anything.
You can draft anything. As many Magic players have proven through time, you can draft basically anything. But yeah,
Because I would definitely do a draft with these.
maybe more info on that in the future.
Yeah, so that's the base news about that, but pretty exciting. And the reason that they're doing away with this master stuff is that they're going to focus on sets with more reprints. That's the idea. So goodbye to master sets for a while, and hello to reprint sets apparently. So
Yeah.
yes, exciting stuff coming in the future there.
Yes.
All right, next up on news.
GP Atlanta happened.
That's right, it was Modern.
Yes. And we'll bring you a bigger breakdown on what happened in GP Atlanta coming up later on in the show. But
Yeah.
yeah,
It happened. It happened. There
but
you
it
go.
happened and it was Modern.
Payan Zhang won the whole tournament with Bant Spirits.
Yes.
And this is a deck that's been on the rise for a while, which much to Megan's chagrin. But we also saw a lot of stuff that wasn't reflected in our top 8. And that stuff involved the graveyard. Lots of graveyard decks at this tournament.
Yeah.
And new cards from Guilds of Ravnica too.
Yes.
So we're going to talk about what that means for Modern moving forward.
Yeah, what is the metagame like? What new decks are there? What new cards are there? Why are people playing Bant Spirits, and how does it win games?
Yeah, we're going to go through all of that and answer that age-old question, Megan.
Yes, the age-old question I've certainly been asking myself ever since the deck was invented.
News number 4 is a bit of a promo here. Coming up on the Pro Tour next weekend, several members of the Good Luck High Five Pro Team will be playing.
Yay! Keep an eye out for them.
Watch for them because someone's going to win it. But also, what was I going to say? They're not all going to be there because not all the team members have qualified for every Pro Tour.
Yes.
So just in case you're wondering. But someone's going to win, so that's going to pull our team up the standings.
Yes.
To first place.
Yes.
Obviously.
Yes.
And they'll be wearing our super sweet Good Luck High Five Pro Team gear.
Yes.
I'm so excited.
And we're going to have hoodies.
Yeah, we are.
We have hoodies. They have hoodies and shirts.
And shirts.
We're very excited for it.
And if you want to look like our pro team, you can.
That's right, because we have merch.
We have new merch, everybody. Everyone keeps asking us when we're going to make new merch. Well, the time is now.
The place is here.
And YouTube.
And also online.
So we've got one design up now. We're going to be adding more throughout the days coming here. But if you want the Good Luck High Five Pro Team logo, which I think is pretty cute, you can go to our YouTube page, youtube.com/goodluckhighfive. And underneath our videos, you'll see kind of a little rack that has our merchandise kind of like showcased, and you can click on that. We've got t-shirts for ladies, we got dudes t-shirts, we've got sweatshirts, we've got tote bags, we've got stuff for your baby.
Wow.
Your baby can even wear it. Your baby. Think about that. It's through Teespring, so you can also search for GLHF Pro Team gear on Teespring if you want to do it that way, but it's below all of our YouTube videos. You can just click on that and check them out.
Very cool.
Yeah.
And soon we'll even have stuff like shirts that say creatures are dumb. In my dreams, we have shirts that say creatures are dumb.
Yeah, sure, Megan. I'll make that for you. And we'll see you. That way you can identify who the monster is that you're playing for us from any given turn.
Yes. All right, so this weekend was GP Atlanta in Atlanta, Georgia.
Shocking.
Yes. Sorry. I can't keep myself from being like, home of rampant voter suppression.
And a Coca-Cola
Georgia.
museum.
That's right.
And CNN's headquarters.
Yes. And Rep. John Lewis.
And soon the Pro Tour.
Yes, all of these things are true.
But last weekend,
One of them is things you should be mad about.
Modern, however, is not one of those things.
Yes.
And fantastic Modern tournament. A lot of the pro players were there, obviously, because they're already testing for the Pro Tour down there. And Bant Spirits, like we said, took down the whole shebang.
That's right. How? Who knows? Why? Also a mystery.
Megan, can you explain your stance on this deck?
Why is Bant Spirits a thing? Why? It's a garbage deck.
Are you just mad at Spellqueller?
No, I'm mad at the fact that I have played against Bant Spirits
and always
many times, and I've always beat it.
What are you playing against?
So I don't know. I've played Elves against it, and I've played Titan Shift against it.
I've played likewise
taking turns against it.
Always beat it with Boggles.
So like, what is happening? How is
Nobody's
it winning?
playing those decks. That's what's happening.
Yeah, I guess you're right. So it just makes me so mad because I look at the deck, and from where I'm standing, the deck is bad.
I think the reason that it's good is because it has that disruption spell queller.
Yes,
and it's got
just
the
like-
aggression like humans.
It's just dumb creatures. It's just dumb little creatures.
I love lords.
Do you know what? The time that, like, one, you're only saying that because you don't live in feudal England. Two, also, there's like lots of other issues with it, like, you know, like quality medical care and that sort of thing back in the day.
Sure.
That would have also made it unpleasant.
The plague.
The plague. Right at the top of the list, if we're being honest. Pretty high up. But it's just like the thing, like when someone plays a turn 1 Mausoleum Wanderer, and I've said this before, I'm just like, ha, thank goodness.
I also have this reaction because
You're just like, whoa, whew, all right, like let's get this round done with. Maybe I'll have time to get a snack.
so what you're saying is people should play our pet decks
Yes,
if people are playing Lost
that's
Spirits
right.
in your meta.
If you're at a store where people play a lot of Bant Spirits, play Elves, play Titan Shift, play Boggles, because it's just,
Apparently it's just like
I don't know what it's winning against.
yeah. Well, Well, let's take a look at the top 8 and find out what it was winning against.
Yeah.
So Martin Yuza made his 10,565,000 millionth top 8 here.
Yes.
Playing Hollow One.
All right, yawn.
Yeah, Hollow One we've seen before. Powerful deck. We know
Yeah.
that. We know the deal.
Yep. I was just gonna see if there's like any
Flamewake Phoenix is now in the deck, which
No, it's always been in.
Oh, sorry. Oh my gosh, I was thinking of the other one.
Yeah.
That
which
one is not in here.
Nope.
Arclight Phoenix. We'll talk about that card later.
All right, here's the Bant Spirits deck, I guess.
Bant Spirits.
Ugh.
I think this deck is great. I love lords like Supreme Phantom, giving the rest of the Spirit team +1/+1. It plays Collected Company. It plays Reflector Mage.
Do you know what I will say?
Yes.
If this deck is beating humans, good for it.
Yeah, and you know what? It has tools that humans doesn't have.
Yes.
So I think
I'm
that's
okay
cool.
with that.
Let's take a look here. Hardened Scales also made it into the top 8 in the
yeah.
hands of Christopher Larson.
This is an interesting deck that sort of, when you look at it, you're like, what is going on here? It's like kind of affinity.
Yeah.
But also it's not.
Weird affinity.
It's weird affinity as 4 copies of Hardened Scales, which is an enchantment. This is way back from Khans of Tarkir block.
Yes.
If one or more +1/+1 counters would be put on a creature you control, that many +1/+1/+1 counters were put on it instead. It means that you get an extra +1/+1
circuit.
counter if you're putting a counter on it.
This card
already.
is awesome. I love this effect because I love counters for whatever. I just love putting dice on stuff. I think it's fun, okay?
Yeah.
So this deck is cool in that respect, but it does play like affinity.
Yes, and it also has animation module. Whenever one or more +1/+1 counters are placed on a permanent you control, you may pay 1 if you do create a 1/1 colorless servo artifact creature token.
And then you're playing stuff like Ancient Stirrings, obviously, because that
To find
card's
your colorless stuff.
crazy.
Yep.
Walking Ballista, Steel Overseer, Hangerback Walker, Arcbound Worker, Arcbound Ravager.
Wow, so you're just putting counters on
everywhere. Yeah, I think this deck's dope.
Same. Infect.
Infect made it in the
making
top
a
8.
surprise appearance.
Hello.
Infect has been kind of on the outs ever since they lost Gataxian Probe.
Yes.
But here it is.
Proving it cannot die.
Exactly. And what dies is only born again as an infected creature.
Yes.
That's just a zombie. This isn't zombies, though.
No.
Disregard what I've said.
Delete. Just
No,
your
it
classic,
has- yeah.
classic Infect deck.
Yep. It's got 4 Noble Hierarch, 4 Glistener Elf, 4 Blighted Agent, a Spellskite, and a Dryad Arbor as its creatures, and then a bunch of pump spells for those 8 little infect creatures.
Remember, Infect, never trust it, okay?
That's right.
That's my tip.
If you tap out, you're gonna be dead.
Don't trust
You're
it.
just gonna be dead.
Do not trust it.
Sometimes even if you don't tap out, you're gonna be dead.
Yeah, sometimes there's literally nothing you can do.
Sometimes there's nothing you can do.
And that's the
you're
story of
just
Infect.
gonna be dead.
Yeah.
So
Welcome
Infect.
back, I guess.
sometimes you're just dead.
Ironworks combo, of course, was in the hands of lots of advanced players at the tournament.
Yeah, put a copy into the top 8.
Yep.
It also now has Psy Master Thopterus, which I think we saw at Pro Tour 25th anniversary.
Yeah.
But still a cool card to see running around out
it is
there.
cool.
Making a bunch of Thopters.
Ironworks combo. If you don't want to play Magic with other people, consider this deck.
And really, who does? There's Bridgevine.
Yeah, this was all the hotness. Speaking of the Pro Tour 25th anniversary, this deck was the breakout deck from that tournament.
Yes, it has 4 copies of Bridge from Below, which is an enchantment that if it's in your graveyard, you get to make zombies when creatures go to your graveyard. And yeah, plus a lot of, classic dredge or graveyard oriented cards like Bloodghast, like Gravecrawler. Then there's also Goblin Bushwhacker to come in and give everything haste.
And Vengevine, of course.
Yes, obviously.
The
part of
namesake.
name. Yeah.
Or half the namesake.
Whenever you cast a spell, if it's the second creature spell you cast this turn, you may return Vengevine from your graveyard to the battlefield 4/3 with haste.
Nice.
You have so much cheap stuff. Viscera Seer. You'll see people sometimes playing this deck just casting a Walking
0.
Ballista for 0.
Yep.
It also has 4 Stitcher's Supplier, which puts a lot of stuff in the graveyard.
Yeah, so
there you go.
This deck's pretty cool and very synergy based, obviously.
Yeah,
Very
Greater
powerful.
Gargadon. This is one of my favorite things.
I love
is
this
you'll
one.
watch people like suspend this, and Greater Gargadon has a thing where you can sack artifacts, creatures, or lands to remove some of those counters, those suspend counters from it. So sometimes you're just like, I need to get rid of my permanents.
All right.
How do I get them into the graveyard?
Here we
Well,
go.
I sacrifice them to this Greater
And
Gargadon.
all of a sudden, there's also like a Greater Gargadon in play, and you're just like, what happened?
Like, okay.
And Tron.
Classic Tron.
Just your classic Tron.
That is what it is. What else are we going to say about
it? It wouldn't be a modern top 8 without a Tron.
Oh, what if it was though?
Do you think they
Actually,
should
it's
ban
fine.
Ancient Stirrings?
No.
I would ban it.
Really?
I think I would.
There's only 2 out of 8 decks in this top 8 that have it.
I know. I'm being rude.
Yeah, you are.
I just want to make it their lives a little bit harder.
Do you know what's rude?
Don't even say it.
Bant Spirits. Do you know what's rude? Creatures. Okay, there's another copy of Ironworks combo. I had not made it to the bottom of the list. There's 3 decks with Ancient Stirrings in the top 8.
All right, there you go.
Now you're getting me a little bit closer
All right.
to convinced.
I'm kind of surprised that Combo didn't take down this whole thing. If you had asked me to bet on it, I would have said Ironworks Casey. I would take down the whole tournament,
Yeah.
as it has done with many modern tournaments in the recent past.
Yeah, I do think that Spirits has the disruption to
Yes.
like get in the way of this.
And that's precisely
So-
what happened, because that was the finals matchup.
So I guess part of me when you talk about banning a card, like Ancient Stirrings, looks at it and says, well, like the modern metagame, especially in the last couple of months, has done a really good job of just continuously balancing itself out.
Right.
Like you'll see one deck rise, and then you'll see another deck come in to sort of like beat that deck down.
Like whack-a-mole.
Exactly. To the point where we have a lot of different decks in this top 8.
And which mole are we whacking right now?
I think Ironworks is the mole that we're smacking at the moment.
Yes.
But
It really is, though.
yeah, it's like bink. Yeah.
Smack.
And the mallet right now is Bant Spirits. But
But
that's
Bant
been
Spirits
different things.
is a very easy,
Yeah.
I mean, like, just play control deck.
But just, yeah, exactly. Or like for a while, right? Like remember when Death Shadow
Yes.
was the mole that we were whacking?
I remember whacking that mole hard.
Yeah,
Putting my ley lines in the main.
exactly. And then humans came along.
Yep.
And it's just like,
Now
boink.
we're whacking humans.
Exactly.
This is a great metaphor.
It really is. We've been able to keep it up for a couple
Nice.
minutes now. So
So let's talk about a little bit of the fringe, because the top 8's not, of course, the only story of a Grand Prix.
that's right.
So let's talk a little bit about the archetype breakdown. What was the most popular deck that people slaved up and brought?
Well, I can tell you what made the most copies into day
Ooh,
2.
yes, that is the most relevant. What's the best?
Humans.
Conversion rate. Humans.
Still.
Makes sense.
34 copies, 10%, almost 11% of the field on day 2. After that, Burn.
Wow, classic.
Wow. And then Jund. Like,
Jund, really coming back.
yeah, look at those 2 old school, right? If you
Yeah.
think back to Modern like 5-6 years ago, that was
That was what it was.
It was the heart of Modern.
Yeah.
Were decks like Burn and Jund. Then you have White Blue Control.
Yuck.
All right, into it. Bant Spirits. And all of these are about, after Humans, which again is about 11%, and Burn, which is about 8%. Everything else kind of falls into like the next couple are in the 6 to 7.
Yeah.
With Jund, Control, Spirits, Tron. And then you get down to dredge being 5%. Hardened scales.
That's surprising to me.
That is very surprising. 15 copies on day 2.
Wow.
We have Valakut decks, red-green Valakut at 13. Ironworks combo, 10 copies, 3% of the field.
And look at Grix's Shadow all the way down here
Yeah.
with only 8 copies.
8 copies, 2.5%. Yeah, very, very interesting.
I'm really thrilled to see Ad Nauseam down at the bottom with only 5.
Why do you hate Ad Nauseam?
Because I literally can't win against it.
Well, okay, fair
There were
enough.
4 copies of Boggles in day 2, by the way. Somebody entered day 2 undefeated with Boggles.
Oh, that's exciting.
Yes. So,
Cute.
you know, it can get there.
Yeah, suit up those little buddies.
So let's talk about Guilds of Ravnica's impact on Modern, because honestly, it's had the most impact on Modern as far as a recent set that I remember as a Magic player.
Yeah. I mean, arguably, Ixalan had kind of a big one. Like, in some ways, it's
That's
responsible
true.
for the humans archetype.
Yeah.
With Kitesail Freebooter
You're
and unclaimed
responsible.
territory. Ixalan, you're responsible.
Because in the top 8, it was not necessarily reflective of the field, because a lot of people played graveyard decks and a lot
Yeah.
of them finished very high in the standings, just not in the top 8.
Yeah. So one of the surprise cards coming out of this, Creeping Chill.
Hello.
All of those dredge decks putting cards in the graveyard, they're like, well, this card has an advantage if you put it from your library into
I'll
the
free
graveyard.
you.
Yeah, and I'll gain 3. That's a pretty big swing.
Yeah. And I think this is an excellent inclusion for Dredge here.
It looks really cool actually. It's such a, I love the cards that you look at and you're like,
What is this? I'm not
Why?
going to put this in my draft deck.
exactly.
Oh, it's going to go in my modern
But it's going to go
deck?
in my modern deck. Love it.
Draining for 12 over the course of a game. That's
Yeah.
nothing small, especially in Modern where people are doing a lot of damage to themselves.
So there were
fetch
3
lines.
copies of Dredge in the top 32.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about a card that's really making an impact in Standard. Also in Modern, Arclight Phoenix.
Yeah, this deck finished 27th, a deck called Is It Phoenix, which has Thing in the Ice, Bedlam Revelers, and Arclight Phoenixes.
Wow. And then there's just a bunch of ways to put stuff into the graveyard.
Yeah, and a lot of classic spells, right? Like
Yep.
things to flip your Thing in the Ice, or things to make your Bedlam Reveler super cheap to cast.
And bring back that Phoenix.
That's right. So you've got Charter Course, Serum Visions, Faithless Looting, Thought Scours, Burst Lightning, Fiery Tempers. Fiery Tempers. Love it. Lightning Bolt, Metamorphose.
This deck is cool.
Yeah, this deck is super cool.
I think this is fun.
Yeah, and I love seeing Arclight Phoenix of all things in here.
Yeah, Arclight Phoenix shaking up multiple formats.
This is a mythic from Guilds, for those of you not familiar. 3 in a red for a creature, Phoenix. It's a 3/2 with flying and haste. At the beginning of combat on your turn, if you've cast 3 or more instant and sorcery spells this turn, return Arclight Phoenix from your graveyard to the battlefield. And this deck's like, yeah, I can do that.
No problem. I can do it on turn 2, maybe.
No, wait.
If you have Metamorphose. Yeah.
Dang, kids.
Yeah, that's cool. I watched a matchup of this at the Grand Prix, and people were having to lightning bolt those Arclight Phoenixes, and it's
And it
just like,
feels so
cares?
bad, I'm sure.
it's coming back.
Yeah, it was also in a deck called Runaway Red, which ended up at 39th.
Can I just pause for a minute and say this
Yes.
is my favorite new deck name that's happened recently?
Runaway Red.
I saw somebody tweet that it sounds like a Bon Jovi song or something, and I'm like, yeah, it does.
It really does. Or like a John Mellencamp.
Oh, yeah, John Mellencamp. Is he in retirement? Because I was just going to say, come out of retirement and write this song.
Do musicians ever truly retire?
Great
Yes.
question.
Anyways.
Yeah. John Mellencamp. If
guess-
you know what he's up to, tweet us with the hashtag
I'm thinking of like,
runaway camp.
yes. Yes. If you know what John Cougar Mellencamp is up to, please tweet us with the hashtag Runaway Camp.
We sometimes do celebrity updates. Maybe we should add him to the list.
Yes, absolutely. I think like bands break up, but individual artists
Never die.
Sure.
Metaphorically.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, because you can always be like, I'm going to pick up my old guitar and put out another album.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Or they're always like creatively working still, even if it's not at like the
Yeah.
forefront of what's happening
Yeah.
in music.
I often think about if robots, finally get to the point where humanity doesn't really have to work anymore.
Yeah.
But people still will, because I would just be so bored.
Someone has to make the robots.
Like, who's going to make the movies?
Yeah.
Are robots going to be in all the movies? I mean, maybe in the future we'll get to that point where a robot
Yeah.
can be smart enough to make
and a
them-
good enough
to
actor.
direct an act in a movie.
Wow.
That's pretty far down the line.
Yes.
But it could happen. CGI actors that robots make.
Yeah, like aren't there's like right, there's like pop singers that are just completely
generated.
fictional. Yeah, that are generated, right?
Oh.
Anyways, this got on a weird philosophical bend.
Yes, it did.
I guess part of me wonders like, at what point will a robot ever be good enough to act in a film? Or like, will a robot be able to direct a film with the same level of like artistic flair that we associate with certain directors?
I think if humanity continues long enough, the answer is yes.
Like, you think that we could have a Quentin Tarantino robot?
Yes.
Wow.
But that's a long way away.
Yeah. That's
But
like
eventually.
hundreds of years.
Well, more than that. I would say that is multiple thousands of years.
No.
You think we're going to have Quentin Tarantino robot directing in hundreds of years?
Yes, absolutely.
Wow. I wish there was a way that we could see this bet play out.
Same. Wow.
Sad.
It really is.
Anyway, what's in this deck? The namesake Runaway Steamkin.
Yes.
In standard, in modern.
It has 4 Runaway Steamkins, 4 Arclight Phoenixes, 4 Monastery Swift Spears, and 4 Bedlam Revelers, along with a whole bunch of spells that deal you damage, like Risk Factor.
I'm going to call this deck More Fun Burn.
Do you know what? That feels right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More Fun Burn.
And Insult to Injury. All right.
Oh,
interesting.
Boy. Beware of this deck, seriously.
Yeah.
I would think
could kill you real fast.
Sneak loose to it and just be like, wait, what happened to me? Terrifying.
Yeah, so those are a couple of the more, out there decks that showed up in Atlanta this past weekend.
I think that's cool. And it's cool to see Guilds of Ravnica or any new set have an effect on modern, which is, a tried and true and tested format for the ages.
Yeah.
Getting new spicy tools. I'm still waiting for my other 1 mana, 1/1 hexproof creature. So I guess I'm going to still have to wait for that.
Never. Your chair is higher than mine today. So,
You're right.
Right? It's like kind of weird. I just realized it.
Maybe I should put myself
No, I think my
down.
chair should go up. Your chair should not go down.
Okay, great. We're going to fix this
Hold on.
problem, everybody. Just, if you're watching the video, we're fixing
Wow.
it. There you go.
What a perspective change.
Do you feel like a whole new person?
I really do.
Wow.
My posture is a lot better. Before there was too much, I had too much leg for the distance.
I always feel like that. I just have too much leg.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying, I just had too much leg.
It's time for a Pro Tour preview.
That's right.
Can you believe that a Pro Tour is coming up?
No.
In one way, it seems very short because we just had the World Championship.
Yes.
But on the other hand, it feels like forever since Guilds of Ravnica has been released.
Yes.
That's bizarre.
It's a very strange time we're working in.
Agree.
But the team series is kicking off.
Yes,
The start of a new year of the team series. Please get out there and root for the Good Luck High Five team.
Oh, we should make a hashtag for people rooting for them.
Oh, yeah. What should it be?
Should it just be Team GLHF?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Great.
So yeah, you can tweet your words of support with the hashtag Team GLHF.
Great.
We're very excited.
I'm super excited to see how they do. I'm just going to be like a little bunny running around the area trying to spot the Good Luck High Five players.
Also, if you listened to our episode where we introduced the team,
Yes.
With Craig Wesco, who's one of the organizers of it and also a member of the team, obviously, you'll know that we had a joke about good manager, bad manager.
Yes.
Which is our coaching philosophy.
Our good cop, bad cop.
Yes, our managing philosophy for our team.
Yep.
So I cannot wait because my particular hoodie for our team says, Maria was like, as we were ordering them, Maria's like, what do you want the back of yours? Like, do you want your name on the back of yours? And I was like, can it say bad manager? So I'm going to own a hoodie that says bad manager on the back.
And mine says good manager. So we're going to have a great photo op at some point.
Yes.
I'm
really excited.
Yeah, me too. Me too. We're picking them up on Wednesday.
Yes.
Anyway, yeah, so Craig's not going to actually be in the first Pro Tour. He's saving his silver invite for the next Pro Tour when all of the guilds are out because, Then
Yeah.
you have full information about
Yeah.
what's going on. But we're gonna have 4 of the members are gonna be playing in this one. One of them's Jelger Vigersma, and yeah, we'll give you updates too.
Yeah, we will.
Because
We'll use that hashtag
We'll-
Team GLHF.
Team GLHF. Yeah, look for our guys. I think it's gonna be super exciting to have our pro team, and
Yeah.
I'll be like, hey, BDM. So Brian David Marshall, Pro Tour historian, he does the segments about the teams at the Pro Tour, and I will definitely slip him a hot 20 to talk about Team GLHF. Just kidding. That's super unethical. But
A hot 20. Was it in your pocket?
yeah, it was in my pocket. You don't want that
Like
money.
you just held it in your fist until it got like real warm and sweaty. Gross. Even I grossed myself out with that
but
one.
I'm super excited to see how they do and follow them through the tournament.
Same. And as we mentioned at the top, you can join our Fantasy Pro Tour
Yes.
this year.
Yes.
So this is offered through Hipsters of the Coast.
It's super cool.
And we've built 2 of them.
Yep.
We have a Fantasy Pro Tour where you can pick 6 cards.
Yep.
And we have a Fantasy Pro Tour where you can pick 10 players.
Yeah.
And if you would like to join either of these, you need to send us an email.
Yep.
Which is
glhfmagic@gmail.com.
That's right. Send us your email address and which of the 2 you would like to be added to, or both.
Yeah.
But just be like, add me to the cards Fantasy Pro Tour, or add me to the Players Fantasy Pro Tour, or add me to both. But please make sure you include some text so we know what you want from us.
Yes.
And we're not just like, here's an email address where the body of their email is
Is
their email
empty.
address again.
Other than that.
In my mind, they just put their email address again in the body of their email, and that was it. It's like, okay.
Okay, sure.
But
Yeah.
we would, and you can see our lists on there.
Yeah.
And then we can take a look. You can take a look at all the other participating members' lists,
I
which
think
I think
it's
will be really fun.
Really cool. And you don't have to worry if like we've already picked somebody or some cards, because that's not how it works. We're doing the style
Yes.
where you can pick whatever you want and they can overlap.
Yeah. All right. So let's do cards first.
Okay.
Maria, what are your 6 cards?
All right, so here we go. History of Benalia. I
Class.
couldn't not pick this. This
Yeah.
is it's my second favorite card in Standard, right after Danto Vanguard, which I guess I should have picked. Next is Jade Light Ranger, which obviously if you're playing black-green, you're playing this card.
Yeah.
Runaway Steamkin for the mono red deck. I picked Knight of Grace because I also love this card. Ravenous Chupacabra, again for green
Who can't
black.
pick it?
And Arclight Phoenix, which I think is probably going to be number 1.
Wow. Hot take.
hot take.
Arclight Phoenix number 1.
All right, what's your card team?
All right, mine is Deafening Clarion.
Great pick.
because we've seen some of those Jeskai decks.
Yep.
And also you can see you see it sometimes in the red-white decks out of the
Yes,
sideboard,
absolutely.
or sometimes even in the main. So I really like Deafening Clarion. I think that its 2 modes can be super impactful in the game, and it goes in a couple of different archetypes.
Yeah.
Love it. Chemister's Insight. How can I not? You draw so many cards.
So many cards. And
So
a lot
many
of
cards.
decks play this card.
Yeah. Vraska's Contempt.
Yep, classic.
Just great removal spell. Has been great since it came out. Does so much. I also picked History of Benalia. So powerful. I would love to see a deck that makes great use of History of Benalia.
I would be so happy if there's a history in the top 8.
Yeah. I also picked Ravenous Chupacabra because again, like, how can you not?
It's the best.
Chups.
What about this? Is it the best removal spell in Standard?
Wow.
Question.
Great question.
Because you get your creature, you
Yeah.
get to remove something, and you can recur it in a lot of these decks.
Yeah. Wow.
That's my other hot take.
That's a really good hot take.
Hot take number 1, Arclight Phoenix will be the most played card in the top 8. Hot take number 2, Ravenous Chupacabra, best removal in Standard.
Yeah. And then I have Teferi, Hero of Dominaria.
Of course you do.
Of course I do. So I think we both went kind of the route of we like spread out the cards across
Yeah.
a couple of archetypes, but maybe there will be people who are just like, they go all in.
They might pay
Yes.
off for them.
Exactly. Like if you're just like, it's going to be green black, and I just thoroughly believe that, and you just pick 6 cards that are
You're
all
gonna
staples of
take
green
us all
black.
down.
Exactly. Like we can't beat that.
No. Okay.
So I love that those are kind of the 2 different ways that you can look at it.
All right. Here's our next league, which is players.
Ooh. Yes.
Okay. So 10 players we picked.
That's right.
I picked Reed Duke because I always pick Reed Duke, and I'm like, one of these days,
Yeah.
Reed, your ship's gonna come in and you're gonna win the PT. I just know it. I picked Seth Manfield because I should, obviously pick the best player in the world right now.
Yes.
I picked a couple of kind of fringe picks, and one of them, which I don't really think is fringe, is Gregor Kowalski.
Yeah.
Who was runner-up at our World Championship, and
And you were like, he just plays Magic.
he plays Magic. And that is basically his life. That's what he said at the Pro Tour. He's like, at the World Championships, he's like, that's what I do all day. I just all day I play Magic.
Yeah.
So I think this guy is going to be he's going to keep climbing up as a Magic player to watch. I picked Ifro. Because he's just always good, and we've had a long time to play the standard format, and I think the longer that you have, players like Ifro rise to the top. I picked Gabe Nassif because he got second at a Pro Tour, a Grand Prix, Standard Grand Prix, playing his mono blue deck, and he's been streaming and practicing a lot. Yeah. And he's a master of that deck. I picked Paulo because Paulo's just a solid choice. Whenever. Li Shitian because he just made the Hall of Fame, so he might be riding that high. Yeah. I picked Corey Baumeister once again because he's so good at standard, and we've had a while to practice a standard format. Ben Stark, very good at drafting and at standard, which I don't think a lot of people know, was recently in the top 4 at the World Championship. Get on my team. And this is my dark horse pick, Yam Wing Chun. Yeah. So you might know Yam as the player who punted to kind of lose a Pro Tour, very sad, a few Pro Tours ago, but he's always smiling. He's always having a great time with Magic, and he plays red like a beast. And mono red is a very competitive deck right now. So Yam Wing Chun. Yeah. Great picks. There you go. Who's on your team? We have some overlap. I also picked Reed. Yep. I don't think I've put him on a fantasy draft yet, but it feels like Reed is someone who perennially does really well. Yes, he does. Like it happens every year. It's like he's going to do well at least one Pro Tour, and I mean like really well at least one Pro Tour, top 8. Really bombs out. Exactly. So just like a solid pick. And so this time I'm like, I think like you said, I have the feeling of like, this is the Pro Tour where it's going to happen. I also have Gabe Nassif. Yep. Like you said, he's been practicing so much. Yeah. And I think he was off of people's radars for a while because he wasn't practicing as much. He wasn't as actively playing as much. But you see it like the last PT 25th anniversary, his team did really well. Yep. And it's just like, I think that when he's practicing, he's a really great player, and he's been practicing a lot. I have Luis Salvado. Who was tied for Player of the Year. Yeah, we're going to have the playoff. He's tied for Player of the Year. That's right. Yes, it's going to happen on Thursday, I believe. Ooh. I can't confirm that. Yeah. I hope so. Tied for Player of the Year, and we're going to get to see the playoffs, so pretty exciting. So again, I think someone who's just like at the top of his game right now, practicing a bunch, ready to go into it. Javier Dominguez, again, just doing some great practicing and playing right now. Take the world champion, how about... Yeah. Mike Sigrist and Ifro, which I think kind of, solid. You said it. It's just like, they're such good players. They've had time to practice. Like, how can you not pick them? They're just so good. Yeah. They're so consistently good. Ken Yukihiro. Great choice. Because he's been playing that mono blue deck also for a long time. And that's a good deck right now. So I could see him just coming in and being like, I've had more practice than anyone else at this. Taking it down. And then I have 3 that are all 3 of these. Nice. I picked 3 dark horses. Spicy picks. I have Ely Cassis, great, Noah Walker, great, and John Rolfe. Great. And like we jokingly call them dark horses, but like they're so good. Those are 3 great players that I just named. John Rolfe was just playing in the World Championship. Exactly. Great player. Noah Walker is like, he's been consistently good, right? Yes. He's been consistently at the level right below the just names that are like rolling off the top of your breakthrough. Exactly. And I think that he's like, one of these days he's gonna be that player. Yep. I can imagine a future in which Noah Walker is the best player in the world at some point. Yeah. And he's just a really nice guy. Exactly. He's so nice. He's still super young. So yeah, that's the one who I'm really rooting for. Oh, I would love to see Noah Walker win a Pro Tour. Yeah, me too. So all right, there you go. There's our 10 picks. Yeah. Can you do better than us? That's right. That's the real question. If you think you can, email us, glhfmagic@gmail.com, with which of our leagues or both you'd like to be entered in and what email you want to use, and we will get you in. And you know what? The winner of our league, we'll pick a winner from each league, and we'll mail those people a prize package. Great. I love that idea. Okay, so you can get in there with some hot prizes. Our league is not just for fun. No. This is for competition. And if either of us it's going to be like some sleeves, but there's a prize. And a play mat and like other stuff, dice and stickers. We love putting together boxes of prize winnings because every time it's just like, what else can we give them? I know. I love it. So. Sweet stuff from Card Kingdom, UltraPro, and us. And if either of us win, we'll defer to whoever got second. Of course. And I still am owed some socks, Megan. I just think I need to point that out from our last sock bet. Even though I had the winner. You did. Gosh darn it. I know. Well.
I'll never have nice socks for myself.
Pro Tour coming up this weekend. Wow.
Wow.
That is weird to say, but all right. Watch it out on Twitch. Watch it out.
Watch it out.
Watch it out.
Maria, we have one last question for it, though.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, what do you think we'll see in Standard?
Okay, so piggybacking on my hot take from earlier, I think that the Arclight Phoenix deck will be what wins the Pro Tour.
When you say the Arclight Phoenix deck, what do you mean?
Great question. I mean the deck that also plays Crackling Drake, and that plays Enigma Drake, and that plays all the 1-mana cantrips.
Nice.
That
I
one.
like that.
That's what I think will win.
I like that prediction.
I think that deck is extremely strong, very hard to deal with, and recursive, obviously. Yeah, that's what I think is best. What do you
Nice.
think is going to take it down?
Wow. Great question.
Thank you.
I started that too.
You started that
I know
question.
that I am the... Well, no, I'm saying the tick of saying great question.
Great question.
I know that I am the origin of that. Anyways, sorry, because I've been thinking a lot recently. Someone recently gave me some crap for it. The fact that I said great question.
I've had people compliment me on it.
Really?
They like it.
I say it after every time someone asks a question.
Great question.
And I think that they gave me crap because I asked them a question, and then they asked me the same question back, and I said great question.
I see.
Because it's I
that
just
makes
say
sense.
it. Because I want to validate what they're asking.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
Anyways, great question. What's your answer?
Great question.
We're stuck in a loop.
Don't ask me any more questions because
Okay.
we know what will
There'll
happen.
be no more questions for the rest of the show, or will there? Oh, damn
great
it.
question. I think that I agree with you that I think that Jeskai or that red-blue deck is going to be very good. I think that also I want to see Jeskai Control do well. I think that Teferi is still a very powerful card.
Oh, yeah.
I think that Deafening Clarion did something good for that deck.
Yep.
I think that Chemister's Insight is also great. So I'm really looking forward to seeing where that deck goes. So I think that Control is going to have copies in the top 8.
Yeah. And I think we're going to see a mono red in the top 8.
Oh, why?
Somebody's going to make a deep run with that deck. They're just going to cheese people out because they certainly can.
Yeah. Yeah,
with
they absolutely
Experimental
can.
Frenzy and
Yeah.
what am I thinking
Wow.
of?
Neither of us
Risk
picked
Factor.
Experimental Frenzy, which is interesting.
I do have the Steamkin,
That's true. You
which
do.
is essentially the same thing. But
Yeah.
actually, Experimental Frenzy, I've been playing it on my sideboard sometimes
Yeah.
in my Boros deck. I want to see a Boros deck do well because that's
Yeah.
what I'm playing. I've been playing Boros Angels.
I think that Boros Angels deck also has what it takes.
I think it does too.
I think we're noticing a strength in red-white color pairs. Because even I'm thinking Jeskai, I look
Yeah.
at it red-white is a strong color pair and a strong part of that Jeskai deck. So yeah.
I should have maybe chosen Wild Growth Walker.
Yeah.
For green, because that is a card that I think is uniquely strong in that deck and can really shut down some other stuff, namely my decks, because it just gains so much life and grows
it gets so big.
so
Yeah,
fast.
That card is very good.
With Jade
And
Light.
I've honestly loved seeing more copies of it just because it's one of those creatures that when it was printed, you're like, I loved drafting Explore
yeah.
decks around it. But to see, it's one of
And
the decks that
that's
you're like,
standard.
am I going to see this in Standard? And it's like, yep, here it is.
There it is.
Here's your 1/3 for 2.
You're 1/3 for 2 in standard.
Yep.
Those do make me happy.
Exactly.
I should say.
I do it.
But yeah, also green. There's also probably going to be a green black somewhere.
Yeah.
Standard is so open right now, and I guess what I hope
great.
from the Pro Tour is that we see more refined lists, yes, but also that it doesn't narrow
Yeah.
the format.
I hope that we see a whole bunch of decks in that top 8.
Yeah, me too. All right, so check it out, twitch.tv/magic. Plenty of sweet magic action for you all weekend long. Eat those pizza rolls, turn on that TV,
Yeah.
hit that Chromecast.
Don't forget to check out when those Player of the Year playoffs are happening.
Oh, yeah.
Because just what you get to watch the 2 best players in the world battle.
That's going to be awesome.
What a joy.
It's time to thank our other sponsor of the show, UltraPro.
That's right. UltraPro makes so many great things that every time, if we tried to list everything that they make, the list would go on forever.
I would be a dusty skeleton by the end
Exactly.
of
By the
it.
time we got to the end, they would have made something new that they're making.
I would
And
be
we would just
old,
have to
gray
always-
bones in a grave.
one of my favorite meme videos.
It's so good.
I don't know many, but I do know.
If you haven't seen it, please Google old gray bones in a grave. You'll be very happy that you did.
It's so good. It was like, what's the question? It's a kid answering a question from a reporter that's just like where do you think you'll be
in 100 years or something like that?
Old gray bones in a grave. Yeah.
But the thing about UltraPro is like you said, they're always making new stuff, and they always come to every pro tour.
Yeah.
And they talk to people about what they want, which I think is really cool.
Yeah.
And test out new products with the pros to try and get the best kind of quality stuff. I'm holding right now a deck box here, which was made to house mine versus my dual decks. But like whatever, look we've got two of their other decks in one box.
This is what we're giving away this week, actually, as part of our. When we made those sparring deck videos
versus Slimefoot.
So you have the potential to win these beautiful decks already in their little sleeve homes and already in this deck box together.
Great.
And so it's a great way to just be like, I'm going to battle. I want to battle my friend. I want to have a pair of decks, that I can pull out and battle my kid, battle my friend, battle my partner.
Yeah. So they've got just tons of great stuff that you can, like we mentioned, gift by season.
Dex boxes.
It's like
Dex box.
Dex boxes. What's the plurals that are like that?
Yeah,
Mother's superior. I know that's not the one I'm thinking of. It's a judicial thing that I'm trying to think of.
I really hope that Mother's superior
I think is probably right.
I
just never had to write it.
Mother's superior. Anyways, UltraPro. Great place. You can get their stuff at Card Kingdom.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, everyone, that's this episode of Good Luck High Five. Thanks for listening. And by the way, if you're listening to this when the episode comes out on Tuesday, remember to vote, please.
Yes, absolutely. It's a very important midterm election. Every election is important.
True.
Primaries are important.
True.
It's the way that I've read some stuff about voters being like, well, there's no one who really represents my stuff. Like, I wish that the people who are in my party were farther over.
Yeah.
That's the way that it happens, is you have to be part of your primaries. You have to canvass for your primaries. You have to go out and get people interested in those potential candidates who represent the values that you want to see reflected in the legislature.
Primaries are such a better way to be able to get down to that granular level of what you want.
Exactly. But now it is time for the midterms. So get your butt out there and vote your butt off.
Because think about this. If you went to your pre-release and someone just handed you a pack of Golgari, you'd be like, what? But guess what you can do? You can go up and sign up for Demir.
That's right. So this is like signing up for Demir. That metaphor certainly works. Absolutely.
Yes.
And like this is something that I'm already thinking of, honestly, as finally election day is here.
Yeah.
Is I've been doing canvassing a lot for this, and I'm already looking forward to next year, which isn't even, which isn't even here. Exactly. But I'm talking about 2019, which isn't an election year.
Right.
About the ways that I can get involved then. It's like, again, like talking about policy with potential candidates.
Yeah.
And advocating for what I want to see. Getting more voters registered.
Yes.
Because in some states, it can be a real task. I made a joke earlier about Georgia being the state of voter suppression.
Yes.
Or GP voter suppression. Anyway, but like
we laugh.
It can be such a chore, and the way to make sure that people are registered to vote is to get them ready when it's not election year. You can't, like, sometimes it's going to be too difficult if you're a month out from the election. Sure. But if you're looking at those sorts of things a year out from election, you're going to be able to make a bigger impact when it's stuff like policy and when it's stuff like registering voters, especially in states with weird voter registration laws.
Think about this. Football players don't just eat chips and ice cream during the off season.
That's right.
Just sit
They're
there.
still working out.
Yeah.
So be a football player of democracy.
We would love to see your voting photos too. You can tweet at us with your pictures, with your I voted stickers, however you want. Pictures of your mail-in ballots, whatever you got. We want to see it.
That's right.
Use the hashtag football. What did you say?
The football players of democracy. Please use the hashtag football players of democracy while tweeting your I voted stickers at us.
We would love that.
I would adore seeing them.
Yes.
But yeah, that brings us to the end of the show.
Yeah, as Magic players, I think, you know, it's our job not only to have fun and hang out with their friends, but make the world a little bit better than where we left it. Leave your campsite better than you found it, I think is what my dad always used to say.
We're going to make you so many metaphors for voting that you're not going to be able to handle it.
But yeah. And
is it a football game or is it a campsite? It's both.
It's both.
It's both.
You've tossed the football around at a campsite before. Of course you have. Right? Anyway, yeah. Lots of exciting stuff coming up in Magic. Has happened in Magic. Pro Tour this weekend.
That's right. It's so exciting. Come on and join us in this fantasy draft.
Yes.
Send us that email. Also, we've had a couple of people email us asking for stickers for their LGS. So that is still an offer through the end of the month. You have to check in with your LGS, make sure it's okay by them. But if you do, you can send us an email being like, hey, can you mail some stickers to me? And I'm going to put them out at my LGS. And we will happily mail some stickers for your LGS and also a couple of sweet giveaways for you.
Yeah. Because, you know, thank you.
Yeah, get the word out there.
Get the word out. The best way to support the show, if you can't be a patron, which is also the best way, is word of mouth. And if you think this is something your friends would enjoy, be like, hey, check these people out. They're pretty sweet.
Exactly. Give them some stickers.
Or if you hate us, tell your enemies.
Exactly. Thanks again to our sponsors, cardkingdom.com/GLHF. You can ask them for a sticker with your order.
Yeah.
Speaking of giving stickers away.
By the way, quick Card Kingdom plug. Somebody tweeted a photo at us the other day, which is maybe the best photo I've ever seen, which is they asked for an angel token with their order because sometimes Card Kingdom will draw you a custom token because they're just those kind of people. But he spelled angel wrong and wrote angle. And so they drew him like one of those math tools that you can use to measure angles. With
a protractor?
A protractor with little wings, and it says 4-4, and it's an angle token.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
And I'm just like, this is why Card Kingdom's our sponsor.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It's just excellent.
Remember, you can get sweet UltraPro stuff there as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, we love their Eclipse sleeves if you're looking for a sleeve brand to bring to your next draft.
Yeah. All right. Well, until next week, team.
Yeah. Good luck.
High five.